What's going on YouTube? I am NaveShapes, owner and builder of the Cutting Club Barber Academy, which is both in person and online, and it's also for beginners and experienced barbers as well. And what I've got behind me on this board is how to become a barber. I get asked this question a lot online, so I'm going to make this video in hopes that this will be a video that I can send to everybody to watch and they can understand the steps that we take our students through to becoming a barber. So without no further ado, I'm going to get into it. A little bit of background on me. I started cutting hair in 2016, completely self-taught. I started practicing on paying clients. I never went to college, never went to school, never got shown anything. I lied about how long I've been cutting hair, got myself a place in a shop, and I started cutting clients straight away. So my experience of learning was actually on paying clients from day one. So the pressure was quite high. I then went on to co-open my first barbershop in Manchester within 9 months. So from never cutting hair before, 9 months later, I co-owned my first barbershop. And then 3 months after that, we started teaching other people how to cut hair. So I'd gone from never cutting hair before to barbershop and academy owner within 12 months. Very, very quick, but it can happen. I've been teaching this system now to my beginners for a while now, and we're getting really, really good results. We then went on to open a second shop. So we scaled up from the first shop up to the second shop, and we had that for a couple of years. Then what I decided to do, I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to go all in on education, helping people to become barbers and helping already established barbers get better at cutting hair so they can become an educator. So I've opened 2 barbershops, and I've built 2 barbershops, and I've built 2 academies, and I've done that on the grounds of just teaching myself. So I can only imagine what you can do once given guided instruction on where to go. So let's get into the video. How to become a barber. Just 3 steps to the whole process, and it's pretty simple. I've got it all written down for you here, which you might be able to screenshot if I move out of the way. So you've got that if you need it. First step is about speed. It's not about trying to complete everything when you're learning how to become a barber. We remove all the fluff and we focus only on the fundamentals. That means no beard services and no wet shaves. We want to focus on what gets 90% of the revenue, which is clipper cuts and obviously scissor cut on the top. Once you learn how to get comfortable and you become confident with a clipper cut and learning how to cut the top and to connect it into the sides, that is going to be 90% of your revenue when you're starting out as a barber. So it makes sense to only focus on the fundamentals that can get you 90% of the revenue. So we focus on the least amount of work that gets the most amount of results in the shortest time possible. That's the first step to becoming a barber very, very quickly. We remove all the complexities and we focus on the simple essentials only. What are the options you have though for becoming a barber? There are 2 options. You have in person and you have online. Now, in person you have barber college and you have some barber schools. More often than not, in my experience, all I've come to find is that barber colleges and barber schools are very, very outdated, which is not what you need in this industry. This industry is rapidly evolving. It's not the same as it was 3 years ago, and it's not going to be the same as it is now in the next 3 years. So with that in mind, I had a call with a lady from a local college who wanted to try and get qualifications on my course, on my program. So I gave her the time of the day. I heard her out. And on the call, she said to me, the college curriculum hasn't been updated in 18 years. That is ridiculous. This industry changes literally almost every year. Something new happens, something new is introduced, a new style, a new trend, a new something. And college, if it's not been updated in 18 years as of 2025, I have no idea how anybody's going to survive coming out of a college curriculum. So college curriculums are out of date, and they also take up so much time. They take up they can be like 2 to 3 years. If you're going to do level 2 and level 3, they're going to take up 2 to 3 years of your life, which is ridiculous. And the other thing about level 3 is they teach you how to do beards and they teach you how to do wet shaves. What we're wanting to avoid here in the modern way of learning how to become a barber quickly in a matter of weeks and months and not years is we avoid the beards and we avoid the wet shaves because they take up too much time and they don't add to 90% of the revenue. Then we have online education. The main one being how I actually got started was through YouTube. The problem with YouTube, unstructured. What's right, what's wrong, what's relevant, what works. It's just people filming themselves because they're pretty good at cutting hair, or at least they think they're pretty good at cutting hair. So they stick a camera on, they film themselves, and they post it. There's no real structured education there to develop someone from never cutting hair before to becoming an actual barber in a certain time period. It's just content, which is fine, but it's unstructured content for education. So although you can learn bits from YouTube, and there are people out there putting out slightly better educational content than what was out, let's say 5 to 10 years ago, it's still completely unstructured. It's so vague and it skims over all the nuances of what it actually takes to cut hair on a fundamental level. So what are the alternatives? Well, academies, private academies that have stemmed from someone owning a barbershop, maybe they own one, maybe they own multiple, and they've realized there's a gap for real private education because the people who own the shops knows what it takes to really cut hair in a real life situation, in a real life modern environment. So what they realize is, well, so many people want to become a barber. Colleges aren't fulfilling that role properly. People go through college and then don't actually go on to become barbers because they don't feel confident enough, so they drop it. So what barbershop owners are doing is they're realizing there's a gap here for us to teach people how to cut hair on a fundamental level, and then we can potentially hire some of them into their barbershop business. So they create their own ecosystem of they have a shop, they train some students go on then to become a junior role within the barbershop and work their way up. So barbershops have their own student to stylist ecosystem, and it's perfect. So private academies are definitely one way to learn. In my opinion, we're obviously biased in, we are a private academy. Cutting Club teaches people in person. Whether you choose us, whether you choose someone else, is completely up to you. I'm just recommending you go to a private academy, not a college or a barber school. And an online option, if you can, or at least I'm not recommending that you learn from YouTube, is online communities. So barbers are now beginning to create online communities similar to myself. I have my own. But the reason why these online communities are good is because structured education, for one, modern education, for two, and you meet people on the same journey as yourself. Like, that's massively inspiring. When you come to learn online, specifically with something like YouTube, it's just you and a video that was made 10 years ago. Where when you join a community of like-minded people, all doing the same thing, all trying to figure out the same problems, you can communicate with each other, you improve and get better with each other, and you're all on the journey together, which makes it a much more enjoyable experience for yourself rather than just sat on YouTube on your own, actually not knowing if this technique is even relevant in today's modern world. So online communities are absolutely the way to go from this day forward. Step 2 of the process of how to become a barber: documentation. Capture content. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to capture content. And it's one of the most high return on your time investment you could ever have. If you're ever wanting a high return on investment for anything in your life, which you obviously do, you obviously want high return on your time investment. And capturing and posting content on social media is probably one of the most high return on your time that you can get, highest return on time that you can get. All you need is an Instagram or a TikTok. I pick just one to begin with. You can recycle content onto another, but just create content for one for now. And which platform should you choose? Well, there's actually older people are now moving on to TikTok as well. I know even some of my friends, I'm 33 now, and I have friends who use TikTok quite a lot as like a search engine. So it's not to say if you're younger, use TikTok, if you're older, use Instagram. I'd say whatever you use the most, whatever is more enjoyable to you, just use that platform. It's going to be the one that you enjoy using the most, you're going to want to post more on, and you're probably going to attract more people similar to yourself. So whichever platform you enjoy the most, just post on that one. It's very simple. And then you can double post it. You can post the same video on Instagram if you want to, but you don't really have to think about it or care about it so much. It's your second one. It's a bonus post, if that makes sense. So Instagram or TikTok, how much content should you create? 7 pieces. 7 pieces of content, post 1 per day for 7 days. That's all you need to do. Do that once per week and you're good to go. You've literally got one piece of content every day for the rest of your life. If you film one day per week, you can get 7 pieces of content every day. How do you do that? Well, I'm going to simplify that for you now. Set up a phone, get seven 10-second clips of you practicing on a doll's head, practicing on a friend, a family, or actually cutting a client. Literally 10-second clip. One 10-second clip. Needs no edit. You can set it up as a time lapse of you just doing something, post it, and stick a caption on it. That is it. The caption can be, practicing clipper work today, follow the journey. That is all it takes to get started on posting on social media. Please do not overthink posting on social media, but do not overestimate the importance of starting posting on social media from day one. Look, I'm 33. I only started taking social media serious last year. I'm telling you to learn from not my mistake, but from my experience, that the sooner you start posting, the better off you're going to be in the future. And I've seen it already with my students in here. After every class, I get them to make content and they get them to post it. And it's already unreal to see the amount of engagement they get, growth they've got, models sending them DMs, and clients paying them every week from before they even finish the in-person classes with us. So I know how important it is. I know how fast it works. Don't underestimate the simplicity of getting 7 10-second clips. Just post the clip once per night at 8 p.m, let's say, for 7 days until your next day of filming content. It's the simplest thing you can ever do. Simple caption, practicing clipper work today, follow the journey. Practicing scissor work today, follow the journey. I don't know how to make it any easier. That is the easiest thing you can do. Next up, we're on to step 3 of how to become a barber. We have covered speed, no fluff, fundamentals, focusing only on what generates 90% of the revenue. In person, you want to go to private academies. Online, you want to find private communities. Step 2, documentation. Capture content, post on the platform that you enjoy using the most. Set up your phone, get 7 10-second clips with the caption, practicing clipper work today, follow for the journey. Now we are on to step number 3, and that is getting clients. So we have 2 options of getting clients. We can try and get free clients, or we can charge for clients. Now, most beginners, and this is complete perspective shift, most beginners and anybody, any educator will tell their students, get as many free haircuts under your belt as possible. And I understand why they say that, and there's merit to that as well. I'm not saying don't do free haircuts, because every haircut is experience. But check this psychological shift out. When's the last time you went and got a free haircut? Probably not that long ago. Probably not that soon ago, right? If ever at all. Why? Because you're suspicious of why the haircut is free. Like, I don't want my hair to get fucked up. I want a good haircut. So I'm sure you're the same. If you have never been for a free haircut, or you'll be suspicious about getting a free haircut, it becomes really difficult, or it becomes easy to understand why I'm going to suggest you not to offer free haircuts. So what do? You charge for the haircuts. You charge a small amount. My students charge anywhere from £5 to £10 for the haircuts. So if you think of it like this, you're now charging £5 a haircut. The psychological shift that happens in your potential clients is, wait, he's charging for haircuts when everybody usually does it for free. So he must be pretty confident. He must know something to be confident enough to charge something. So I'll give him a try, because what you charging for haircuts does is instills confidence in a potential client that you're confident in your work. Therefore, they are way more likely to book in with you. This is perfect because this is what starts the whole thing I call the client getting flywheel. And once you have a client in your chair, what you do is you film the result of the haircut. If you can, film it before and after of the haircut, stitch them together, make a post it on your stories, post it on your feed. Tag the client if they allow you, because potentially they're going to share that with their friends, family and audience, which is exactly what you want. It's free exposure to you and it's going to help you get more clients. So the client getting flywheel goes like this. You film a haircut, step 1. You post the content, step 2. You get new clients, step 3. You do the new client's haircut again, you post content of them and tag them in it, and then you get new clients. Haircut, content, clients. Haircut, content, clients. That is the client getting flywheel. It works and it's so simple. Take a 10-second video of the result of their haircut, tag them in their story and your feed. Hopefully they share one or both. You get exposure to their audience and hopefully you'll get a few clients from it, and you do that every single client. The more clients you do that with, the more exposure you get, and you do it on the same client over and over. Every time the client visits you, you do it again, because you get more exposure to their audience every time. And the more exposure you get to their audience, the more their audience warms up to you as a potential barber. And then their friends and family and audience will start reaching out to them saying, I've seen this guy, done your haircut a few times, it looks pretty good. Would you recommend him? They're usually going to say yes. If they keep coming back to you, they're probably going to say yes. Then that's when your DMs start filling up with, how do I book, how do I book, how do I book? You do the haircut, you post the content, you get the client. The client getting flywheel is the simplest thing you could ever do in terms of building a rabid client base in a very, very short amount of time. This is how I'm getting my students to go self-employed in 6 months. Some of them are opening their own shop within 12 months because they're following the system. It's a very simple 3-step system. All you need to do, focus on the fundamentals, learn private, document the process, post it, and charge for haircuts, because you're going to get more confidence in your clients and you're actually going to start earning your investment back of wherever you've spent your money. So hopefully you learned from that video. I'm sorry if I spoke a bit quick. I get a little bit excited about all of this. But my name's Nave Shapes. If you want to learn how to become a barber, you can check out the first link in the description below. If you got anything from this, please do send me a message. I appreciate every message and I respond to every message as well. Until next time, it's been a pleasure.